Welcome back to the show, everybody. What a day. I had quite the debate last night in a bar full of Trump supporters. I'll talk about that more on the bonus show. Click the join button below if you want to get that. I hope you're all doing well. We're still in Nashville in the hotel, and we got to start with this crazy story, which is that Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani. Wow, that was crazy, Cole. I thought I was Caroline Levitt for a second. Went into the Oval Office to meet with Trump. Now we'll talk about, there's going to be, I'm sure, backlash and whatever. I'm just more fascinated with Trump's behavior in this setting. I don't know if Zohran, in their meeting before they went out into the Oval Office, pulled Trump aside and said, listen, before we go out there, I did talk to the Epstein estate. And I got the Bubba tapes. I got them. You know what I'm saying. So you better be nice to me out there. Or what? Trump is acting very strange and very nice. Which could flip on a dime. This is what he does. And he doesn't really have a deep-rooted ideology. So he comes out there after saying Zohran is the most dangerous communist ever. And is saying, you know, actually, I think I like what he wants to do in New York City. It's disorienting. But one of the parts that struck me was a reporter said, hey, Zohran, you have called Trump a fascist. Fair. Now you're sitting next to him. Do you still think he's a fascist? And then Trump goes, hey, don't worry about it. You can call me a fascist. I think it's accurate. Okay, watch this. While we go through this, please do, if you appreciate this show, click the subscribe button. We were out late at this Daily Wire debate. Intense. And now we're back up early. No, I slept in. But you don't know when we're recording this. Come on. So click the subscribe button if you appreciate that.
What's your reaction to that?
I have to be honest with you, I focused very little on resolutions. Frankly, I've been focusing...
Socialism.
I understand. I think the focus is on the work at hand. I can tell you I am someone who is a democratic socialist. I've been very open about that. And I know there might be differences about ideology, but the place of agreement is the work that needs to be done to make New York City affordable. That's what I look forward to.
And I want to clarify your answer to Stephen Nelson. He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist. And your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
I would mind very much if someone called me a fascist. It almost feels like Trump is not that insulted by that term for some reason. Interesting. That's just interesting. Thank you, Gavin. A very bizarre way to handle. I don't know what, again, I don't know if Zohran has some dirt on Trump or something. I'm being silly, obviously not. But Trump's acting uncharacteristically pleasant. Now, I'm curious to hear, you can say in the comments what you think. I get why Zohran has to at least try to get Trump sort of on his good side, because Trump was talking about just cutting off federal funds to New York illegally. And so if all it takes is you going in there and being like, hey, I stand by everything I've said about you, and I would prefer you not cut off federal funds. That is good for New York City. As long as Trump doesn't get him to bend on principles, then I think it's fine. But I know a lot of people are going to be like, why would you have this imagery that feels very supportive? And I get that. There's something uncomfortable about how cordial it was. But also, if he goes in there and just starts screaming at Trump, as would be perfectly justified, then Trump can do a lot to hurt New York residents. Zohran very virally posted this on his way. Just a little plane emoji as he was flying there. Look at this. We got to get our numbers up on Twitter. He's crushing us. He's crushing us, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now I was curious. We'll show you more clips from this press conference, but I was curious. What did you think about that exchange, Robert?
Or who are collecting, who are collecting Social Security, who are collecting workers' compensation.
Yeah. I don't really know how that connects, but thank you. Okay. Maybe they talked about workers' compensation. I don't know. And then watch this.
Why did you fly here? Aren't trains greener?
Shut up! I'm so sick of that. Oh, you care about the environment, so if you walked everywhere, wouldn't that be better for the environment? Okay, do you care about it? Then shut up. Oh, because you don't. So we could... Real environmentalists can take issue with Zohran's means of travel. You can't. You don't care. And also, systemic public policy reforms to actually consequentially address our emissions and address the climate crisis is the important part. A politician going on a train instead of a plane, and he didn't even take a private plane, I think he was on a commercial flight, is not very... It's a silly point. I got lost in the sauce of what I was saying. I was still thinking about Bobby. So I don't know where that point was supposed to end. But you get the point. Shut up is the main one.
I will use every form of transit, and I want to make sure that they're all affordable in New York City, and that's why making buses fast and free is a centerpiece of our campaign.
There is a bus that goes.
Well, but I know, but if he flew, that's a lot quicker too. No. You know, I mean, he's working very hard. For him to be, that's a very long drive. I'll stick up for you. You know, the plane takes you 30 minutes, and driving takes you a
And
long
Mr.
time.
President, I was wondering if you could clear up some confusion around a...
So Trump, do you think he's a communist who's going to end New York City? Or do you like him? Your stance is very bizarre. I'm going to be honest, maybe this is me libbing out too much. I kind of wish Mamdani had a few more jabs. Because the interesting thing is Trump's not the most linguistically complex. And I think Zohran could have slipped more in there without Trump even knowing what he's saying. You know, the predecessor to the next president has done severe damage to the country in which we are all in. And Trump would be like, he's talking about Biden. Take this down. I think I know who he's talking about. He's talking about...
For sure is that he signed Hunter's Biden.
He's not talking about me. The next president's predecessor. I don't understand the sequence of events there than this.
Mr. Mamdani is a communist. Can you describe why you feel that way? And also, will you do anything to stop him from arresting Prime Minister Netanyahu if he visits New York?
Well, we didn't discuss your second part of the question, and on your first part, I mean, he's got views that are a little out there, but who knows? I mean, we're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I changed a lot. From when I first came to office. It's now
You've gotten a lot worse, actually.
quite a while ago. It's quite a while. My first term was great. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We're doing even better now. We're doing much better now than we did even the first term. And I can tell you, some of my views have changed. And we had discussions on some things. I'm not going to discuss what they were, but that I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he's going to be. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually, and some very liberal people. He won't surprise them because they already like him.
This is a bizarro world. This just happened, and so I don't even exactly know what my real reaction is. There's the funny elements, which makes it easy, like Trump going, "Call me a fascist." It's fun. I think it's zany. But on a deeper level, again, Zohran's obligation is going to be to New York City residents, people. And so if just this little dog and pony show gets Trump to not send in troops and take over New York City like Trump said, it's kind of like engaging in diplomacy with really bad, dangerous leaders. You have to do it. You can't bend on your principles. You can't whitewash who they are, etc. But you can kind of engage in diplomacy even with the worst dictators abroad if you can leverage it to positive outcomes. So it's kind of like that. And it feels like if this is all it takes for Trump to not do a takeover in New York City or cut off a bunch of federal funds, why wouldn't you? But there's brutal imagery here, given everything that Zohran said about Trump correctly and what Trump has said about Mamdani all over the map to different degrees of inaccuracy. And how you square that with this is just a good guy, we're having a good time, is tough. But if it gets a good result, I don't know. It's hard to criticize on that front. And there's just so much of this Trump lavishing praise.
I think you're going to have hopefully a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am. I will say there's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything. And we're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. And congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Please.
Oh, wait, let me hear some from Zohran.
Appreciated the meeting with the president, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America. We spoke about rent, we spoke about groceries, we spoke about utilities, we spoke about the different ways in which people are being pushed out, and I appreciated the time with the president. I appreciated the conversation. I look forward to working together to deliver that affordability for New Yorkers.
Okay. All right, listen. What are you going to do? You know? There it is. Very, very bizarre. I don't really know what happened. I don't know what's Trump's on drugs or something. He's on drugs or Zohran has dirt on him. Surely. I've never seen Trump act like this. But then it kind of reminds me of, it's different, but it reminds me of Zelensky. I know in Zelensky's heart, he hates Trump. Understandably. But he also has to go in there and be like, yay, you're awesome. So that Trump doesn't destroy Ukraine with his American foreign policy. So it's cringe to watch sometimes. But it does make sense in that situation for Zelensky. You need the American government to be on your side, and Trump has a lot of sway over that. It's similar. Now, the big test will be if Trump then proceeds with some of these hostile actions against New York. How does Mamdani handle it? And is there a fight politically, policy-wise? Does this represent a shift in the willingness to combat Trump's authoritarianism? I don't think so. I hope not. Or is it just, we'll do the photo op if you need the photo op to chill out. But beyond that, I'm not bending the knee on anything.